most FBI people, current and former, are really shocked. I've heard from many of them in the last 24 hours. It takes people an entire career, 15, 16, 17, 18 years before typically they're ready to fill this role. So to bring in someone who has no connection to that whatsoever is really stunning and dangerous, I would add.
Stunning and dangerous. We only have the most qualified people in leadership roles at the FBI, after all. That Dan Bongino, scary guy. Joining me now, Lee Smith, columnist at Tablet Magazine. Hey, Lee, why so nervous at the FBI? I don't understand it.
Well, Dan, Jesse, some people say stunning and dangerous. I say stunning and brave. I think it was. I think it's a great move. I can't remember when I found out. Either it was Sunday night or when I woke up Monday morning, and I said, "Wow, that's fantastic." So between Kash and Dan, you don't need much more to figure out what's gone on at the FBI, especially Russiagate. So of course, that's why someone like Andrew McCabe. And remember how Andrew McCabe advanced through the ranks of the FBI. I mean, this guy was not necessarily a top rank a field agent, right? This is a guy who stayed close to leadership, and that was his thing. He was a fancy lawyer from Duke University, and he polished all the right doorknobs, and that's how he got to where he was. And then of course he started to undermine Comey. But that's another story. I'm incredibly excited about the leadership team at the FBI, and I suspect that all of your great viewing audience is as well.
Yeah, speaking of other things that were going on at the FBI, Dan Bongino recently came out and talked about one Adam Schiff. Here he was.
Why is Adam Schiff so worried? Folks, I strongly encourage you to go back and take another look today at the Russia collusion hoax. I know it's a story that's old and a lot of people want to move on. I'm going to be straight with you. I don't want to move on. We had the FBI in conjunction with the Department of Justice, officials in Congress, foreign governments, and intel people fabricate a story, invent a story that could have caused and done serious long-term harm to international relations with a nuclear-powered foe. It's kind of a big freaking deal. I'm not letting it go. And you listen to me. This is going to be very important in the coming days. I'm not letting this go.
He's not letting it go. What happened there, Lee? And why is Adam Schiff probably staying up too late now at night?
Right. Well, Adam Schiff was the major operative in the House of Representatives who was pushing Russiagate. He was ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee while Devin Nunes was chairman, and Schiff played to block at every possible turn. And you'll remember all of Adam Schiff's TV appearances where he said, the people in the House Intelligence, they called him Pathfinder, right? Because he was always talking about, I've seen more than circumstantial evidence that points to collusion. So Schiff was a very bad actor, and we suspect he was coordinating with other players, because there's actually documentary evidence of him meeting with people like Glenn Simpson of Fusion GPS. So I'm glad that Dan is not going to let it go. And I don't know how they're going to work out, who's doing what at the FBI. Deputy director is an enormous job, but I wouldn't be surprised. I certainly hope. I have no inside information, but I certainly hope that Dan takes that same sentiment into FBI headquarters in Washington, and that he's one of the people getting to the bottom of what happened with Russiagate. Because Dan is absolutely right, Jesse. This really became the template for operations targeting not only Donald Trump and his aides, but also the American public. Russiagate. So I think it's very important, and I'm 100% supportive of Dan's efforts to get to the bottom of it. Now that he has access to everything that he needs, God willing, we'll start getting more answers, and we'll get some accountability finally.
I'd like some accountability for one James Comey. People remember James Comey, right? Here he was.
When you think about a second Trump administration, what do you think the implications would be for the FBI? Oh, serious, for the Justice Department and the FBI, because Trump is coming for those institutions. He knows their power, and I think he has regrets that he didn't work hard enough to corrupt them last time. So he's coming for them, and that's a danger for all Americans. He's going to put people in positions in those organizations. He didn't have all-stars the last time. He'll have the bottom of the barrel this time, but people who will want to do his will, and that should worry every American. This election matters. Because of a reason like that, people have to participate. You cannot sit on the sideline. I don't care how you feel about Joe Biden, you must vote for him because the consequences on the other side are too severe.
Sounds like a man who was pretty worried about the personal consequences. Sounds like a man, Lee, who ran an off-the-books honeypot investigation against the Republican nominee for president underneath Barack Obama.
Yeah, well, that we're hearing reports that the FBI is looking at this. But here's the crucial thing about that alleged operation. That this is, remember, Crossfire Hurricane. This was the operation investigating the Trump team, alleging collusion. But this was tied to the Hillary Clinton campaign. The Hillary Clinton campaign came up with a Steele dossier, which the FBI used to get a warrant to spy on Trump and his aides. Right. There's no connection here, this honeypot operation, to the Clinton campaign. So that says that Comey was running this, had nothing to do with the Clinton campaign. He was running it on his own, but under whose instructions? Remember, I think this is so crucial to understand that Barack Obama was the boss. These were all his spy chiefs: James Comey, Andrew McCabe, John Brennan, James Clapper. So it'd be great to get to the bottom of this. Find out who was running that honeypot operation. Was this just Comey's inspiration, or was Barack Obama, who again had reason to go after Donald Trump, personal reason, vendetta, grudges to go after Trump? And the question is, did he use FBI resources to go after Donald Trump with this honeypot operation?
Yeah, that's a big question and a big no-no. Okay, Lee, let's shift gears here before I let you go. Iran. Word is out that Iran, they think we're coming for their nuclear sites, and or Israel's coming for their nuclear sites. What's happening right now, foreign policy-wise?
Well, Donald Trump has made it pretty clear, right? I mean, first it was sometime before the election when Biden warned the Israelis against hitting Iranian nuclear facilities, and Trump said, well, that's nuts, because that's the first thing you'd want to hit, right? Nuclear bombs are very dangerous. And so in February, after the election, Donald Trump said, look, I want to settle this. I want to settle this with some sort of negotiation. But if we have to, they're not going to get it. We don't want to bomb them. We don't want to decimate, destroy Iran, but they're not going to get the bomb. That's the bottom line. So the Iranians are hearing this. This is the first time or the first president that the Iranians have ever heard this from, who they are compelled to take seriously. So I think Donald Trump is very serious about this, and it is very dangerous. The possibility that the Iranians would have a nuclear weapon. So I'm pretty confident that Donald Trump will stop it. He says it, and I take the man at his word. We have plenty of evidence to see now that Donald Trump is serious about such matters.
Lee, as always, thank you, bud. Come back. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.